Anyway, before I get into all the different things, the main thing is, what I'm saying is, they did a lot of work, right? They left their continent, they left their country that is supposed to be civilized to be here. And the way I was taught colonization in school is, it's a good thing. They came and brought us civilization. Without the Brits, we would not know what schools are, would not know about hospitals, we would not have roads and lights. That's the way I was taught colonization in school. In very, very recent time in my life, like very recent, when I learned what colonization is, the word colonization, just go check it, just go look it up on your own. I'm not even trying to talk about the deep meaning of colonization, just the word, just look it up, right? When I finally learned what colonization actually is, I felt very betrayed by that, because I'm very, very sure I was taught colonization as a topic when I was in secondary school. But I'm also very, very sure I had no idea that this is what it actually means, right? So what I'm saying is that they colonized all these countries in Africa because of the things that they can get from these places, right? And oh, by the way, what I wanted to say, they colonized us because they wanted to do us good for civilization. So what was the need to kill the people that you came to civilize? To come with guns, advanced guns and bombs to kill, if you just want to help those people. And by the way, these wars, I learned them on my own just a few years back. We were never taught about any wars between our people and the British pre-colonization. I never learned that in school. That's why I don't really blame our people when they make ignorant comments, when they say things. I don't really blame people, because not only did all this happen, and like they don't leave the ideologies of the Brits, they don't even live in our head. It is our head, because they conquered, and people were forced to take these beliefs in, whether they liked it or not. And for their survival, they had to accept it. And it was passed on to their children and the next children and generations up until us. So much so that it's not a struggle. It's not something that we are fighting. It's something that we genuinely believe in. From birth, your own parents taught you these things, not some white people, right? So why would you not think it's true to who you are, right? So I don't blame and aside from all this happening, when it comes to school, they don't teach us this in school. So there is no way for anybody to know different. The first time someone mentioned, I was arguing with someone about how Nigeria is so behind on everything, and all these countries are so much better. And he was like, I went to print something, and they were arguing about Nigeria, the way Nigerians always are. And that was my stance. And the guy that owns the place was like, you are not supposed to be comparing Nigeria to all these countries. I'm like, why not? Am I going? So, and he was like, because these people, they came here and destroyed our country and took the things that are here, and they are the one that established the way everything are, and Nigeria was only independent from their colonizers in 1960, and that all these other countries you're comparing Nigeria with haven't been what Nigeria has been through, and the wars that we had to fight. And that was the first time, and this was in 2020, and that was the first time I ever heard. So when he said that, it sounded crazy to me. I already wasn't agreeing with what he was saying. So when he said that, it didn't mean anything to me. It was just going over my head. But being who I am, I didn't accept what he was saying during the argument. But when I got home, the first thing I did was do the research, and lo and behold, everything he was saying and more was the truth about our history, and I started learning on those histories about Nigeria. And these things are not taught in school. So what I'm saying, the point of all these things that I just said is that I don't blame people when they make comments that, like, if you know better, you know those comments are really, really ignorant, right? I don't blame those people, because how are they supposed to know, right? How are they supposed to know? So I feel like I've lost so much track on why I started making this video. Anyway, what I'm saying is that Britain colonized Nigeria. There was a reason why they took over, and they established the governance, the way the government will be, and the way even these things that we are taught in school and the things we are not taught in school, it has been established to be that way. You know how we always say the curriculums that we used to teach, that we are taught in school, set up by British standard. I don't think it's the standard that people in Britain are studying. It's the standard of things that are allowed to be taught to children, right? So, what I'm saying is that they did not do all that work. By the time they left Nigeria in 1960, when we became independent, and they went back to their country, and Nigeria became a government by the people of the natives, right? By that time, oh, by the way, that was after the Second World War. The World War that they call World War, but it didn't involve the continent of Africa. It was all these white Europeans fighting themselves, and they call it a World War. Anyway, after the World War, they had to go back to their country to rebuild and whatever. And by that time, what I'm saying is, by that time, they have already established their mission in all these Western countries before they started the decolonization processes, right? So what I'm saying is that they did not do all that just to leave you people to take everything, and they just went back to their country just like that. Nigeria is, in some way that I cannot tell you because I don't know, still under the influence of Britain, and the British people still gain whatever they gain from the Nigerian resources, right? So what I'm saying is that the British are not going to sit back and allow Donald Trump to just destroy Nigeria. They are not going to do that. They are not going to allow it to happen. One, Trump is not going to do it either, because America and British, the United States of America and British are allies. They will, if even if self is the UK and other people that have issues, the US will get involved in favor of the UK. So there's no way the US will come and create a problem for the UK. That is what I wanted to establish. Okay.